Really clear.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Kath McIntyre. I'm a video strategist and I help you create personal brand videos if you think of like a movie trailer for your business. And I also help you launch signature programs using a video content sequence. And I am here today with Sam Ferres. Hey, Sam.
Hi, lovely to be here with you.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. So Sam is a confidence coach, which is really interesting when it comes to doing video. I would imagine that there are some people who feel more comfortable with it than others. But can you tell me a little bit more about what you do and how long you've been doing it for?
Sure, yes. So, as you mentioned, yes, I'm a confidence coach. I've been doing this for nearly 3 years. And primarily, I work with service based female entrepreneurs to help them really move through and break through the self doubt that pops up and to show up unapologetically in their business and online and in videos so that they can really break through those income ceilings that pop up for us as well and make that really big impact out there in the world.
How did you get started? Why a confidence coach?
Yeah, so it was one of those interesting things. When I started my business, I didn't start in confidence coaching. I was actually helping people with chronic illness and pain because
Mm,
I'd suffered from an autoimmune disease. But after I did that for about 3 or 4 months, like something doesn't feel right. And when I sat down to look at it, it was because I really discovered my calling was around confidence. And the reason behind that was that I'd struggled with confidence issues my whole life. A lot of negative beliefs and thoughts in my mind, imposter syndrome when I went into the corporate world, this overworking and constantly trying to prove that I was good enough, but that just never was never enough, no matter how much I worked and no
mm,
matter how much I achieved. And then I started into my business and I saw these same behaviors popping up for me again. That real, I have to keep working and working and working really hard. I've got to prove myself. I have to show everyone that I'm capable. I don't want to be seen as, silly or not knowing what I'm doing or not capable. So I realized it was just this mask, this facade that I was putting up that on the outside looked really confident. And on the inside was sort of shriveling and dying, just really feeling a lot of that doubt. And with that, a lot of anxiety as well. So that's how I sort of led myself into one, first of all, healing my own issues around self-doubt and really building up my own confidence and realizing I wanted to help women in business to do this too, because without confidence it makes being in business feel really hard and it's stressful and it is difficult to put yourself out there, to do the videos, to post online, to be vulnerable, share your story when you don't have that confidence and belief within yourself.
I can relate on a lot of what you just said. It is really challenging being in business and it does bring up, imposter syndrome, like you said, compare and despair, comparing yourself to others. It just brings up all this stuff for us, which is really hard to work through on your own, really. I think you do need to kind of work with somebody to kind of, I don't know, unpack it and kind of get break through and get kind of unstuck. How do you like to work with women?
So I like to work with women on a number of levels. And one of the first one is really around that subconscious mindset. Because as you said, it is actually difficult to move through confidence challenges on your own. And the reason behind that is because our subconscious mind is controlling pretty much most things that we do. 97% of our feelings, thoughts, actions, beliefs, they're all held there in the subconscious mind, which you don't have ready access to. So I work with women to really help them to understand at a subconscious level what are the beliefs that are holding them back from being able to show up in a really confident way in their business and do the videos and show up unapologetically. So we break that down and release those beliefs. And then I then help them around the conscious mindset tool. So now that you have these beliefs that you are absolutely enough and you're capable and you can do this, we need to continue to embed that with mindset tools and taking action as well. Because just because you believe that you're good enough now doesn't always completely translate immediately into action taking. So it's setting up plans for you to take those steps in your business so that you can build up the confidence that you can also build a business that you love and on your terms as well.
And sometimes that taking action sometimes has to be messy action, doesn't it? You know, because that's how you get the confidence. If you can kind of just keep the perfectionism to the side and all these mindset, inner critic stuff that goes on, and if you can take some action and slowly build up your confidence, I would imagine, then you can keep moving forward.
Exactly. And that's what I say to people all the time too. It is messy action. It doesn't have to be perfect. And to be quite honest, when is anything actually perfect? It's not. And you keep working on that thing forever and you'll probably still not think it's good enough or there. So I say to people, what's the 80% that you need to get this to? Find what does 80% look like and then just get it out. Whether that's writing a post, whether that's doing a video, jumping on a live. Once you do it that first time, it feels scary, but the next time you do it, it feels less scary. You get more capable. And then the next time, until you just don't even care. I click on that go live button now without even, I thought the care in the world, and often haven't prepared what I'm really going to say. At a high level, I know what I'm saying in my mind, but it's just having that level of comfort and putting yourself out there. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Like you talked about when you started doing lives, and it was probably a little bit uncomfortable when you got more and more used to it. How do you use video in your business? And what's been the transformation for you from when you first started using it to how you use it now?
Sure. So I've used video quite a lot because I do enjoy it and I think it's a great medium to connect with people. So I've used it in terms of weekly lives in my Facebook group. So going live, tips and tools, tricks, learnings, using it in that way. I've also run online summits for business women as well. So that was quite a big way to use video. Challenges, workshops, masterclasses. I use it for my group programs as well, either running lives or recorded videos that people then watch. I also use it with my one-on-one coaching clients as well. So I will record videos for them around specific activities that they may need, and I keep a bank of those activities. So as I'm rattling through these, quite a lot actually, I use it a lot.
You do?
Interviewing people. That's probably another one. Interviewing other people in business, but also interviewing my clients for testimonials. So it is just such a valuable tool. But when I first started off using video, I was pushed to do it. I was working with a copywriter and she said, you're articulate, you communicate well. I want videos from you to put into your email sequence. And oh my gosh, I do not want to do this. And these were just recorded videos, not lives. But I felt so frightened. I really, really did, even though it was just me and a computer and, talking to myself effectively. I was actually shaking and sweating. And it was a really hot summer when, all of Australia was on fire a few years ago when I was recording these videos. And it took me, it was over 20 takes. It was a 3-minute video. And it was over 3 hours of me sitting there, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it was just that continued practice over that 3 hours that by the time I got to the end of it, I'm like, I've got my 3-minute video and I'm actually okay with it. And even having to watch those back and watch myself, I found that quite difficult. And this is coming from someone I facilitated executive leadership training, presented to boards, presented to executive teams and leadership teams for most of my career. But this video really had me unstuck. But that was that's where I came from, to very quickly going, actually, this isn't so bad. And I was invited to do a live in somebody else's Facebook group not long after that. And again, I was sweating, I was shaking. It was 10 minutes and I can't even actually remember what I said. And I got off and I'm like, that's just the worst thing ever. And I actually had 5 people book a call with me and I had 1 person sign up with me to work with me.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe this stuff works. Maybe it wasn't that bad.
What on that? Why do you think video does work?
I think you're really able to show your personality, to share your message, connect in with the audience. I particularly like lives where I can interact with the audience as well and get them to ask questions. So I do like that. And I think that gives an element of community so they understand who you are, what you do, but also then what it would actually be like to work with you too, whether your message resonates, whether your values resonate, whether your energy resonates as well. And I don't think you can bring that across in any better way than using video.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, I agree totally. It's but with some of the women that I work with, sometimes they want to use video because they know how powerful it is, and it is a medium that builds trust, right? And but they do have fears of being on camera. So the way that I work with them is I ask them to think about that one person in the whole world that they trust, whether that be a husband, a sister, you know, a brother, a sibling, mother, father, whatever, and that they're talking to that one person. And that seems a good, quick way to get rid of some of the nerves. How would you work with someone around confidence on camera, for example?
Yeah, yeah. So initially for me, it is understanding where this fear is actually coming from and what it's all about. And so some of that deep inner work that I do is really understanding those past experiences and how they're impacting on your belief about yourself, which can then calm down your nervous system and make it a lot easier for you. So if someone's really worried about doing video, I ask people to go back to the first time where they actually felt these same fears, whether that's a fear of
Mm,
criticism or fear of judgment. And usually people go, and yes, I've got it. I know the exact time that it happened to me when I was 6, and this, how I felt. So understanding that experience and actually unpacking that and understanding the belief, but then shifting those beliefs as well. If you felt like you weren't good enough because your teacher was critical of you in front of the
mm.
class, it's how can you shift that belief around, because and just understanding that's not you anymore, that was a younger version of you, and I'm letting that go. And when it comes to the practical part of actually doing the video, I always recommend to people that instead of just going like, okay, I'm going to do a live and go live and that's my first ever time of doing this, get that practice kind of like I did too. And I love that. You think about that person that is actually going to cheer you on, and imagine you're looking at them, but get that practice, record yourself, review it, because it's often not as bad as what you think. And I say to people to look through the lens of your best friend, not your own eyes. Imagine your best friend has just recorded this and they put all this effort and work into it, and they're asking you for your honest opinion. So, what did you do really well in that? What did they do really well in that? And then what do you think they could improve on, and then do it again? And you will notice significant changes just by giving that level of feedback to yourself a few times from the first video to the next, and just encouraging yourself and acknowledging that progress, because it will only get better as well.
Yeah. And the other thing I say also to the women that I work with is that, like, yes, do videos over and over again so you get more comfortable, but don't forget that your audience or your community is not watching that video over and over again. They're only watching it once, and they're not going to come to it with a critical eye. They're coming to it because they want to hear from you and they want your help. So it's really of being of service, that mindset of being of service, and that you have something very valuable to impart on your community.
Absolutely do. And the communities that we're presenting to are very forgiving. We
Mm,
are often on the same boat. We've all either been there or want to be there too. The fact that you're taking that step is very courageous and it's bold. And, in the beginning, it might not be that easy, but through the practice, it becomes easier. And you'll see how much support people give you when you actually do show up on the video, you do go live. They're not really looking for, oh gosh, she had too much of a pause there, or her inflection was a bit flat. So they're not seeing those things. It's is there something of value in what this person is saying to me? And I know that for entrepreneurs, we all have something of value to impart, and it's really just believing that in yourself too, and that, you know, not perfectionizing, you're not perfectionizing
Yeah.
everything around what you're trying to do.
Yeah. And of the videos that you've done, like you've said, you really enjoy doing lives and they've worked very well for you. What's your favorite thing to do? And is your favorite thing to do the video that works for you best?
I think that one of the favorite things I have actually done was working or organizing the summit, like the business summit. And the reason for that is that it wasn't just me, it was really bringing together, you know, a community of women and these incredible people, entrepreneurs from around the world, to work with me in video so that we could all impart our knowledge and share that out into the world. And that's probably one of my favorite ways to use video, to be honest, is in collaboration with other people, because it's not just about me and my message and my voice. It is about collectively bringing in the voices, I believe, of other entrepreneurs who have complementary skills, or even the same skill set. Some of those people are the same, but it's about broadening that out and working with others in that collaborative space that I think I enjoy the most, and I try to do that quite a bit.
That's an interesting point, because if you are a little bit nervous about doing video on your own, actually doing an interview series or a summit, or where you're reacting and talking to somebody, is a really effective way of just getting used to video. You know, I know myself, that's what I like to do. I'm an absolute extrovert. I love to collaborate. I love to talk to people. You know, this is my comfort zone. I really enjoy it a lot. And I would recommend it to anybody who feels the same, who likes to collaborate and build communities. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I agree. And it really does make it easier, because all of a sudden you're not just looking at that little tiny dot on the, or at yourself and thinking, oh my gosh, I look weird, you know, doing this. You're having a conversation, talking to somebody, and those conversations for me are really energizing. And I feel that energy really comes through into the videos to the participants as well. And I love that when we can just sort of lift everybody up across the board.
Yeah, video definitely builds communities really, really well. And that's really important to us as female entrepreneurs, because, you know, that's what we want to do. We want to build communities, be of service to that community, and so everybody can help each other. Yeah, yeah. Sam, is there any one last kind of words of wisdom that you could leave us with as to, you know, confidence and working on or in video? Anything that you know, from your own transformation from when you started to now, what you've learned?
I think that the biggest thing is just give it a shot. There is really nothing to lose from having a go at it. And everyone is forgiving. Just remember that everyone is forgiving. And it doesn't have to be there forever either, you know, but it's just about having a go at it, because the longer that you sit in those feelings of doubt and in that fear, the harder it is actually to take that step. So just decide and do it. And the doing part, set yourself a time frame and a day and a time that you're going to do it. Tell somebody else, get the accountability, set up an accountability buddy, get someone on an interview. Just
Mm,
take that step so that you can't actually back out of it as well.
yeah,
Committing to someone else and other people is a good thing. And getting that up online saying, hey, I'm going live at 3 p.m. tomorrow to talk about this topic. You know, those sorts of things actually still to this day help me to continue to go live as well. Otherwise, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, there's always an excuse.
yeah,
So to yourself, but commit to others and build in that accountability and
yeah.
just give it a go.
Yeah, really good advice. Thank you for that. That was excellent. Sam, where can people find you if they'd like to know more about Confidence Coach and what you do?
Oh, so on Facebook, I'm at Samantha Ferres Coach.
Mm-hmm.
I also have an online community on Facebook, The Confident Entrepreneur. So they're the two best places to come and seek me out, say hi, and learn more about confidence building.
Great. Well, thank you so much for today. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm so glad that we colour coordinated.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Thank you. If anyone would like to learn more about video, you can come over to my Facebook group, Video Secrets for Online Entrepreneurs. Thank you, Sam, so much.
Thank you so much, Kat.
See
Bye.
ya.